So during one of my trips to Lowe's this week, I got a sage plant because I could not wait for my seeds to germinate. I threw a bunch of seeds in the ground all around this little section. No germination yet, but it's not even been a whole week. So anyway, I got some sweet basil. I bought two packs and I split it up. There's 8 little bushes. That little thingy there is the only tomatillo plant that I have living so far, but I see a sprout in that little tomatillo patch. Do you see it? That little green sprout? That hopefully will be the second tomatillo. But hopefully more germinate, because I can't, it's really hard for me to get them going for some reason. Also, I got some dill, separated it, and some oregano. And then in this little section here, I planted some lemon bee balm seeds. So hopefully those germinate soon. And then in this section, I planted some other seeds, some valerian seeds for the root. It's supposed to have some really good medicinal qualities. And then up in the center section, all the way across here, up into this, until you reach this, all through here, I planted some ginger. Hopefully a few of those take anyway, because some of them were kind of squishy. I don't know if those are going to do anything. But this little section right here is still empty. It's definitely going to be something herby, just not sure yet. And then in this section right here, I threw the entire packet of Mary Washington asparagus seeds. So hopefully those germinate and sprout, and then they'll go to seed, and next year we'll have more and more and more for the future. Anyway, there were a lot of seeds, so I expect at least part of them. I would hope at least part of them would germinate, because I threw the whole packet in there. Anyway, I'm hopeful. And then on this side is the peppers. They're doing fine inside their little habitat that we created with the jars on top of them. They seem to be doing fine. They're a little foggy, so that means it's warmer on the inside than it is on the outside. They're all doing just fine. This one's not glass, it's plastic, but same concept. They're doing fine, and they're also growing, so I have high hopes for this garden bed full of peppers. But even if they do become stunted, I have a lot more in the house that still need to be planted or given away. Anyway, I'm just looking at that little tomatillo sprout. Isn't it adorable? None in this little section yet, but hopefully soon something will sprout up. Nothing really to see here except that the flowers and seeds are doing their thing. They're getting long, and soon they'll become dried, and then we'll harvest. And then I can amend this bed and plant some more stuff. Something that'll grow up the trellis. I'm thinking I'm going to plant one of those Italian squashes that needs a lot of room to grow. They're like yard-long squashes, and one will feed an entire family, like a couple times. But garlic is doing all right. It's just kind of yellow. The leaves are yellowing. So I'm thinking it's some sort of deficiency, because I don't think they're supposed to be yellow like that. This is elephant garlic. And so far only one of them had escape. That was this one right here that I pulled off. And those back there are the, what are they? Not onions, not garlic, shallots. The shallots I cut back because I saw another YouTube gardener do that, and they say that it helps the plant put its energy toward the bulbs. So I cut them back, but they keep producing scapes, so I keep pulling the scapes off. I see another one back there that I need to pull off. Anyway, really nothing to see here. It's just a bunch of flowers and seeds happening. So these nasturtiums are doing really well. However, the China Jade cucumbers that I planted, they sprouted, but then the potato bugs got them. So no luck. I'm going to have to start them indoors again, and just let them get kind of large before I transplant them. This is a grape that I bought from the Christmas tree shop. Actually, it was like $7.99, and it's doing really well. Obviously it was not going to stay there, but we had to throw it in the dirt somewhere, and we'll figure out a spot for it. On the other side of the trellis over here, one of the sprouts has made it this far. Hopefully it continues to make it. And then this cucumber is still doing well, and so are the nasturtiums back there. Those are doing well. Looks like we have some little sprouts, some flowers. These are phlox. They're supposed to be a dwarf variety, so they're not going to be super tall. And then I don't see any sprouts for the snapdragons. Oh, yes, I do. They're just itty bitty. The seeds were super duper teeny tiny, like smaller than a flea. Anyways, that's exciting. That's a pretty shady spot too. Let's see. This is a blue cream, and it's growing. It's a little small, but it's growing. And then this is the Brad's Atomic Grape. It's the only one that I'm keeping. I think I only had two Brad's Atomic Grape plants that made it. And my tomatoes have aphids on them. I've been plucking them off by hand, but that's not cute. Anyways, these are the Romas down here, and there's 3 of them, and they're growing pretty well. This one's kind of small, but it'll get up there. These are a determinate tomato, so they're only gonna get maybe 4 or 5 feet. They're not gonna keep growing, so I'll figure out something to trellis them on. But I'll probably just end up putting some stakes right next to them, like I did for these two. These two have some pretty tall stakes because they're going to get tall. I'm expecting them to get tall. Here's a look at my strawberry tower. They're green. They're mostly green. That one right there doesn't look like it made it right in there. Still brown. But most of them made it anyway. And then these strawberries are just, this one plant I noticed has more than one plant actually. I think it's probably 3 plants. This is one, This is 2, and that looks like a 3rd one right there. But anyway, look at that, almost ready. That one's still working on it, but this one here is ready. This one has Mama's name on it because I've had all of them that's come off of this plant so far. Look at that. These plants came from my sister, so thank you. And it looks like this plant back here is setting off another runner. I'm gonna just let it go. This plant seems to be determined to set off runners instead of growing fruit, so we'll let it do that. I didn't have any green growth on these before, but it looks like these strawberries are starting. These ones are the everbearing. They're starting to have some green growth, so I thought they were just all dead. I don't know, looks like there's a little bit of green right there too, so maybe there is hope for these strawberries. I thought they were all dead. So this is one of those bushes that my sister sent home with my mom. I forget what it's called. Elderberry, I think. Yeah, this is an elderberry bush. It's gotten really big. A lot of growth this year. Because it was like maybe a foot tall over the winter. And now look at it. Pretty big. It was, actually, here's the other one. Right over here. That's the other one. And over the winter, it was just as tall as this one. About a foot. And then this spring, it just sprung. Look at it. It's huge. Alright, so here are the Magnolia Tendril snap peas growing up the trellis. Those ones over there in a corner have been eaten by the bugs, so they're not doing very well. Those peppers look like they're just fine in their jars. And the bugs have also eaten the leaves off of my, there's a twig over there, off of my sunflowers. Not cute. And I transplanted that last night. It's a Boston pickling cucumber. And then these are the dwarf variety. They're all still really small. This one's doing okay. It's the biggest one. Well, the ones in the front here are bigger. But I will continue to monitor. It's the first time I've ever grown dwarf tomatoes. So these are all the grow bags with potatoes. And look at that. Lots of new growth. Very pretty. Very pretty. The potatoes are doing really well. I gave them some good water yesterday. Hey girls. The girls are like, hey, where's my food? I'm hungry. Oh, little Booze. Aw, they're sweet. Alright, well this concludes the garden tour. For week 3. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly do enjoy watching the growth because I can look back and see in prior videos how small they actually were. Even though I think they're still small, they're actually growing.